see what kind of measures we can take to make it smoother, more accessible, and more successful for small businesses. So what was your experience?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for even asking the question and taking the time to be here. So the experience for me was, of course, we were scrambling to
I'm
get
sorry,
it.
do you mind that I tape you?
No, not at all. Of course, we were scrambling to get the money because we really needed it.
Correct.
We were closed for a couple of months, and while we were closed, we were granted PPP money. And it was during the time where they were saying you have 8 weeks to use it, and 75% of it
70-30, yes.
has to be on
Payroll.
payroll. So obviously that was a huge challenge because one, we were closed. So what I began doing was I hired some of my kitchen staff back, and we were cleaning, we were painting, and I had a feeling that they might change in 8 weeks, but I was hedging my bets, and some of them, had been out of work and weren't getting unemployment.
I see.
Sorry.
Okay.
And I wanted to use it for something, so I was using it to pay my workers, but not to make money, just to have them...
To be ready, right.
Exactly. So then about 3 weeks into that, they changed the rules and said we had
60-40.
exactly, and also a much longer time.
Longer,
I think 6
December.
months. Well, by that time I had spent a decent amount of money
I
on
see.
just getting ready to open, and nothing to actually bring money in. And then it's great that they allowed us to put the parking lane structures
The
in.
outdoors.
But this was a huge expense. We had to get more tables and chairs.
Do you mind telling me, the average? I mean, how much did that cost you to put, these outdoor structures?
About $15,000.
$15,000.
Between labor, the material, tables and chairs, we had to make it shaded. You have to make it lit in the nighttime. Now they're allowing us to keep it year round, which again is great. But you can see it's being built out there, and again, lumber.
And you're gonna have to have the lamps, right?
Correct. So lumber to close it in, windows, a door, heat. We bought a
Do
generator.
you think it will be practical enough to say that people could sit out there in the wintertime? Will it be warm enough?
I hope so. We're taking it one step at a time. but
What about
that's our hope.
safety? Fire safety and stuff like that?
Good question. I mean, we're not allowed to use propane in there. We are allowed to
Okay.
use electricity.
Oh, okay.
We will have, fire extinguishers out there. I'm sure there'll be, new guidelines. But this is all a huge expense at a very difficult time.
Very difficult.
So while the PPP was helpful, we paid rent with it for a couple of months. We paid insurance, and we used it for wages before we opened and while we opened. But I had spent quite a bit of it, when they said we just had 8 weeks.
And now you're open indoors 25%.
Correct.
Okay. And how is that affecting your bottom line?
I mean, we're down probably 30 to 40%.
Okay.
And when the weather cooperates and it's a sunny, nice week, maybe we're down 20%. I mean, we're very subject to cold, rainy days, which is why heating and closing these will be helpful, but it is a very big expense.
So if we have another round of PPP loans, what is your recommendation?
It'd be wonderful to give it to, so you think another one for restaurants?
Yes. Let's say we say the Small Business Administration says, okay, you can apply again for another loan.
So wages is fine, but I mean, you have to think about dividers, hand sanitizer for the table.
All the equipment.
We should be able to spend it, rent is fine, but we should have more.
What about rent? Let's talk about rent. Are most businesses behind on rent?
So I'm very lucky that my landlord has been helpful, and he's allowed us to pay a reduced rent until we're back up to 100% capacity.
Oh.
So that's my situation. I know lots of landlords are not being that helpful.
Okay, I understand. Well, thank you. This is very good information to have, because I think that we need to be ready, right?
Absolutely.
And let me ask you some questions about the process that you. So did you go to your bank to do the? And your bank was helpful in that way. Right?
They were, yeah, Chase Bank.
Chase helped you fill out the application and they processed it, and so they were very helpful.
They were helpful.
Okay, very good, excellent.
And you know, I mean, just one small sort of plug for restaurants. I feel like, you know, we're here on this corner. We keep our corner clean. We keep, you know, I've had the same people working for me for the entire time we're open the whole time. And you know, I feel like we're really. I mean, I guess everybody knows we're a really vital part of the life of the city.
Yes, of course.
And
You define the neighborhoods. People come here to eat, and then they see what Harlem is about. Right?
Exactly, and
Yeah.
you know, I live here. I mean, this is a real labor of love. So I really appreciate you even
Yeah,
taking the time.
and let me just say to you that in addition to the PPP program, we are making a specific ask for restaurants.
I appreciate that.
$150 billion. It's a Congressman Blumenauer, and I'm part of that bill, is making a specific ask. Now, I've met with Chef Kwame, who's like a young, state-of-the-art rising star in the cuisine. He got the James Beard Award. He was based in Washington, but he's from the Bronx. He's back here. And he has been working with other folks in making that very specific ask for restaurants, because we know that restaurants are very important to neighborhoods. People come from all over the place to eat at a place, and then they experience the neighborhood.
Exactly. This is definitely,
Yeah.
you know, this is a place that like we have a million people that come here all the time, right from the neighborhood, and it's a very
Yes.
and another, you know, just sort of point of restaurants. So we're before the whole COVID happened, we were planning to open a second place, so we are.
Oh, okay,
Just
good.
3 doors down, but the person who's my managing partner there was a bartender here for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
You know,
good.
I mean, this is how people sort of, you know,
Progress, yes.
Yeah, and his name is Bobby.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, good. Well, thank you so much for that information. Estamos aquí en este negocio, este restaurante Lido, que recibió un préstamo PPP de la Administración de Pequeños Negocios, que lo ayudó a mantenerse abierto durante la pandemia. Pero nosotros ahora estamos peleando para una segunda ronda de esos préstamos, al igual que también un fondo específico de $150 mil millones para los restaurantes, que nosotros entendemos han sufrido bastante en la pandemia por razón de que están limitados al número de personas que pueden tener adentro. También tuvieron que instalar las estructuras que uno ve en las calles, donde las personas se sientan al aire libre. En este caso a ella le costó $15 mil todo eso, y necesita otra ayuda para poder mantenerse. Por eso estamos aquí escuchando su historia y lo que le sucedió a ella durante la pandemia, cómo ella pudo mantener su negocio abierto. Así que vamos a seguir luchando por los pequeños negocios, que le llegue otra ronda de préstamos perdonables, y que a los restaurantes específicamente se le dé una tajada de $150 mil millones.
Congresista, en esta área, ¿evaluó usted cuántos restaurantes están en la misma condición o fueron beneficiados con esa gestión?
En total fueron casi 7,000 negocios en mi distrito que recibieron préstamos perdonables del PPP, más dinero que se le asignó en el Alto Manhattan, del hospital, algunos 600 negocios, y ahora también estamos trabajando con un par de 200, a lo mejor 200 o 300 negocios que van a recibir fondos de la compañía Google. Ese es el esfuerzo que se ha hecho.
Gracias.